Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any
They've been from Manhattan to Knoxville, Kansas City to Fayetteville, Dallas to St. Louis, Nashville to Orlando, and the place your Tigers call home, Columbia, Missouri. This is Earning Our Stripes with Brock Gordon and Ben Duncan.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Earning Our Stripes. I'm Brock Gordon.
Can't stop me now.
And I'm Benjamin Duncan.
Audio only because reasons. Such as,
Yes.
Well, I'll put photo her. That is what my camera looks like. No, that is not as Ben put it, a blue screen. That is my camera. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Ben, how are you doing?
I'm tired. Ready for this weekend.
Indeed is a big weekend. But before we get to that big weekend, Ben, there's a lot of news that we have to cover.
Yeah, there is. And so, do you want me to just go ahead and get started with that then?
Just start going down that list, good sir.
Let's pull this up. Here we go. Here we go. The Every True Tiger NIL product line is expanding again. 6 kinds of ground coffee will be hitting Schnucks shelves soon. 3 roasts and 3 flavors. Athletes featured on these products: gymnast Kennedy Griffin, football's Christian Williams, volleyball's Maya Sands, wrestling's Noah Certain, softball's Kaylee Lengler, and men's basketball's Tamar Bates.
It's a pretty good lineup, I'm not gonna lie.
Not a bit. I've never had coffee, so I could care less. But next up, we have Chase Daniel being named to the 2024 SEC Football Legends class. Why not just the 2024 SEC Football Hall of Fame class or something?
Well, either way...
Does that not exist?
Either way...
Good for him, though.
Either way...
Either way, good for him. That's
no,
great.
I meant the, either way. Chase Daniel.
Yeah.
SEC legend.
And, oh, yeah, haha. Pretty funny. It just now crossed my mind, yeah. That's kind of funny. Mizzou men's hockey played Illinois in the hockey bragging rights games last weekend.
Not last weekend. A few weekends ago.
Last weekend. I guess recording this now, it would be 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then we have another baseball commit to Mizzou, that being Cody Goff.
Yeah, not a lot of info on this guy. He's just,
He's
just
there.
good. Yeah. Highly touted.
Yes. Mizzou volleyball beat Arkansas in Fayetteville, defeating Arkansas in 4 sets to win that one 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Hockey won. Yeah, hockey won their bragging rights games, I think. Or at least they won the first one 3-2. Let's see. Yeah, women's volleyball have had 5 straight wins.
Oh.
And just a game and a half out of first place from the time that you had sent this, but
Yeah.
we're getting further along here in a minute. Volleyball defeated Oklahoma 3-2 in 5 sets. Then, 2025 4-star Nicholas Randall has committed to the University of Missouri for football. He is basketball, my bad. He is a 6'10" forward with great touch around the basket, an impressive defender who protects the paint and plays with a high motor. He chose Mizzou over San Francisco, Creighton, and many others.
Yep.
They're doing great. From Mizzou Hoops students. Earn priority points at Mizzou athletics events and be first in line for border showdown. It's border war versus KU.
I like how you fix that. I like how you personally just fix that. You're like, it's not the border showdown, it's the border war.
Yeah, showdown's just BS. Scan your ticket to each event to earn points, which find that kind of BS as well, because legit, as probably many students, nobody cares about any of the other games except that one, so it's kind of dumb.
Arkansas and Oklahoma?
Those games would be good as well, too, but there's a lot on there that probably a lot of us don't really care too much about. Yeah, let's see. Mizzou football's regular season finale against Arkansas is a sellout. The athletics department announced that meant that Mizzou fans sold out Memorial Stadium for every home game during the 2024 season, meaning selling it out on the main market. So selling it out, but there might have been tickets on the second-hand market.
Oh, there are, for sure.
Yeah. Basketball announced their team captains, being Tamar Bates, Caleb Grill, and Jeremy Sanchez. Only know one of those guys. Cool. Okay, we're getting to the part now which I actually had seen this the other day, but volleyball upset number 9 Texas in a 5-set victory to win 3-2 in Austin.
Yes, indeed.
Then hockey played
Illinois State.
Illinois State Redbirds. They beat them 6-3.
After dropping the first game.
Oh. Dang.
Yeah, well.
Mizzou Wrestling went to Northern Colorado and won 25-14.
Yes, that's points in wrestling. So if you pin someone, it's 6. If you win by a major fall, it's 5. If you win by hang on. 5 is technical. So you tech them, you beat them by 15 or more points. 4 points for a major victory, 3 points for a victory on points of any type. Continue.
And, with that being said, next up, Mizzou Men's Wrestling hosts the Tiger Style Invite on November 9th here in Kansas City at Staley High School.
Indeed. I was going to go to that.
Okay, then we're getting to another thing that I'd seen the other day with Mizzou men's basketball losing at Memphis, 83-75. Memphis winning that. So Mizzou men's basketball still has not won a game since December 23.
They have not won a basketball game
won
in 2024.
Away game since November 23.
They have not won a football game or a basketball game in 2024.
You are correct. And women's basketball didn't fare any better. They lost to Vermont 62-46. It's the first win over an SEC program in Vermont history, which is sad.
Do you know what Vermont's mascot is?
No.
The Catamounts.
Oh, the Catamounts?
Yes. Do you know what a catamount is?
I think I remember.
It is a cougar, a mountain lion.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what a catamount is.
We have one where this next one is 20 freaking games in a row. Leave him on Beale Street. Good God. I'm assuming that's referring to the basketball team.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Leave them in Memphis. They will not escape.
No, leave Coach Gates in Memphis, is what they were saying.
For the football game against Oklahoma this weekend, the 2014 SEC East champion 10-year reunion will be happening, which they were SEC East champs and Citrus Bowl champions.
Again, who did they beat in the Citrus Bowl?
Could not tell you. Oklahoma State or something, I don't know.
Minnesota. Don't you know?
Okay, so for the football game this weekend against Oklahoma, they're wearing the All Blacks, and as long as I see stripes running down the legs of those pants, we'll be okay. If it's just solid black pants, I'm going to be mad. Because whoever decided to take the stripes off the pants needs to get fired. Mizzou Volleyball continues to win, beating Georgia in 4 sets. Volleyball, meaning that they have 8 straight wins.
Yes. Yes, they do.
I don't even know if that's ever been done before for our program. Who knows?
I don't know.
Then we have 6 straight days with the Mizzou game. As today we're recording this on Thursday, the 7th. Women's basketball plays versus Southern tomorrow, or the day this gets uploaded, Friday. Men's basketball is playing Howard. Saturday's football against Oklahoma.
At home.
And wrestling in Kansas City.
Yep.
Sunday, women's basketball versus Norfolk State. Monday, men's basketball versus Eastern Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuesday, women's basketball versus Tulane.
Yes.
And back with the 2014 reunion for the SEC East champs and whatnot, Marcus Golden will be there this weekend at the game.
Banging that drum. Banging Big Mo for your Tigers.
Indeed.
Well, what do you want to talk about first? Men's basketball?
Yeah, sure.
There were positives in that game. I don't know if you watched it at all. There, Ben.
No.
Okay, well, they led at halftime. And they just let it slip away. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. They took their foot off the gas. And, yeah. They took their foot off the gas. Granted, it is a very tough Memphis team. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. So,
yeah.
I don't know how many people expected Mizzou to go in and win. But Mizzou led 42-32 at the half. So, make of that what you will. Leading scorer for the Tigers. A little bit of a surprise. I don't think anyone would have really thought it would have been Anthony Robinson, the second leading the Tigers. He led the Tigers with 16 points. Behind him was Tamar Bates with 13. Aiden Shaw had 11. And then a very nice surprise for the Tigers. Trent Pierce had 13 as well for the Tigers. However, getting 2 points from Gray, 4 from Grill, 6 from Perkins, 2 from Warak, and none from Marshall and Cruz do not make a good recipe for success, as there were 11,000 wearing blue and white there in Memphis for the Tigers in the FedEx Forum. There was a little bit of sprinklings of black and gold, not too much. However, you can't do much when the leading scorer for Memphis has 25, with PJ Haggerty leading the way for the Memphis Tigers. So, they got 2 important games coming up here. They got some games coming up that they'll be able to rebound. Their first real test isn't until December 7th against California. And then they start a little bit of a hell drive for about 4 weeks, not quite, where they play Cal, Kansas, and Illinois before they play Auburn to start SEC play. They do have an in-state matchup coming up the 27th of this month, so in 20 days, when they will host Lindenwood. Howard this week, or when this comes out, then Eastern Washington, Mississippi Valley State, a little bit of a break for over a week, then they play Pacific, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Lindenwood in a span of 5 days before playing Cal and Kansas in a week span. Ben? Thoughts?
Yeah.
Just yeah?
I'd like the basketball team to win a game this year.
If they go winless in 2024, that is going to be so disheartening.
Gates will be gone.
Well,
Which,
I mean,
as much as I hate, because I love Coach Gates, but it's like, why aren't we winning?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. That is knowledge that I do not have. I make no bones about it. I know I am not a basketball expert in any way, shape, or form, so I do not want to try and figure out what is going on in the minds of the Mizzou basketball program, nor their opponents. But you know what I do get in the minds of for a segment here? Do you know what that would be, Ben?
That is?
Know Your Enemy, powered by BigCardEntertainment.com, the University of Oklahoma Sooners from Norman, Oklahoma, a 7-hour drive southwest of Columbia on I-44 and US 54. Expect crimson and white in the stands. It's the first time these two foes have played each other since 2011. This is the first year Oklahoma will play in the SEC. They were founding members of both the Big 12 and the Big 8 with Mizzou. Brent Venables is in his third year in Norman. He is 21-14 so far in the year. This is his first head coaching job. We have a common opponent, the Auburn Tigers. Your Missouri Tigers defeated Auburn in a thriller on homecoming, 21-17 in Columbia, which was in, no, that's wrong. No, just 21-17 in Columbia. I did a misprint there. Oklahoma beat Auburn in Jordan-Hare 27-21 back in Week 5. Keep in mind, Mizzou had to play the majority of that game against Auburn without Brady Cook at quarterback. Oklahoma leads the all-time series 67-24 with 5 ties, including the last meeting in 2011. The last time these two teams met in Columbia was a legendary College Game Day game in 2010 when the Blaine Gabbert-led Tigers shocked the then number 1 Oklahoma Sooners 76-27 on homecoming. The Sooners run a spread offense, so look for them to pound the rock as they have 358 rushing attempts to 296 passing attempts. They average 25.3 points a game, 21 points per game, not factoring FCS opponents. Ben was there for their biggest offensive scoring of the year. On the ground, it's Javonte Barnes, 122 carries, 577 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Taylor Tatum has 3 touchdowns, as well as Jackson Arnold. Two other Sooners have a rushing touchdown on the year. Jackson Arnold will be under center for Oklahoma. He is 116 for 1,169 passing yards with 12 touchdowns and 3 picks. He has been sacked 27 times this year. He also has 91 carries for 193 yards. Receiving-wise, it's a platoon for the Sooners rather than just one guy, as 4 Sooners have over 200 yards receiving. Deion Burks has the TDs so far this year, has led the team with TDs this year. 2 other Sooners have 2 touchdowns, and 6 have 1. Bauer Sharp has the most catches this year with 34. Oklahoma is converting 34.33% on third down this year. This is the first time an opponent is below the medium on conversions on third down this year, as the median this year in the FBS is 38.3%. For those wondering, the lowest in the FBS is still Kent State, with just converting 18% on third down this year. Not a good year for the Golden Flashes. Oklahoma runs a multiple defense, first time that anyone has ran this against the Tigers this year, as it's a defense that makes sure that they're good at everything, but great against nothing. Senior linebacker Danny Stutsman leads the way with tackles with 77. Mason Thomas leads the team with sacks with 6, and Billy Bowman Jr. leads the Sooners with 2 picks on the year. When the Sooners lose, it's pretty ugly, as the offense just can't get it going. The Sooners have committed 54 penalties on the year for 496 yards. Or in other words, Boomer Sooner, the wheels have fallen off the schooner this year for Oklahoma, as it has not gone the way that they have envisioned it. The University of Oklahoma Sooners.
As someone who just watched them last weekend, it will be a very close game this weekend in Columbia. Yes, they were playing Maine and blew the brakes off of them. but what's his name? Danny Stutsman looks really good in run defense. And, I mean, yes, they were playing Maine, but Oklahoma discovered how to throw the deep ball finally this season against them. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they took quite a few deep shots against Mizzou's young secondary this weekend.
So it's funny that you should mention that, Ben, because the main defense is terrible against the pass.
Yeah.
So, no, it wasn't just the fact that they figured it out. It's called Maine can't stop the pass. Because this blowout against Oklahoma is not the first time they've been blown out this year. They got blown out by Monmouth, of all teams, back on September 14th, 51-22. So when a team can throw the ball, they get blown out. So it's not uncommon for Maine to have that happen. Do I think it's because Oklahoma is a world beater? No, I do not think that is the case. Obviously, they allowed 14 points to an FCS opponent, and this is after them coming off a struggle win against both Houston and, just looking abysmal against South Carolina and Texas at home.
Yeah.
When their best win, the game that they look the best in is either a game they gave up 14 points to an FCS school, or when they beat down Temple. Yeah, that's not a great sign for how you're doing in the SEC. There's a reason that they are sitting at 1-4 in SEC play and 5-4 overall in the year.
Also, Maine scored first in that game, by the way.
Yeah. Again, a little bit of an indictment on Oklahoma.
Yeah. Also, I was probably going to say that Mizzou's going to win this game probably anyways, but just because they didn't bring out the horses with the wagon that they ride around on the field,
they
didn't bring it out at all during the game. The schooner, whatever. Since they didn't take that out onto the field at all during last weekend's game due to the field being too wet and it might tear up the field before the players play on it, I found that super disappointing.
Yeah. All right, Ben, it's time to get into the game itself. I have broken down the Oklahoma Sooners. It is now time to get into the spread. Mizzou is currently a 3-point dog in this game. Yes, that's right. You heard that correctly. Oklahoma is favored in this game right now. Mizzou opened as a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 42.5, which has now fallen to 41.5 points. All the money right now is on Oklahoma to beat the number 24 Tigers. Your predictions, Mr. Ben. If you have any.
Just a second. I'm looking.
Because I know, every week I do this.
Gary Pinkel was 1-7 against Oklahoma during his head coaching tenure at Mizzou.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not great. By the way, Mizzou averages more points per game and has given up less points per game this year than Oklahoma. For those at home wondering. So.
I'm going to go with my score prediction of Mizzou's going to win this one. Let's do 27-24.
27-24, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. I will say that the Tigers are going to I think this is their third loss on the year.
Interesting.
No, wait, I can't say that. No, they're going to win.
Did you know that Mizzou and Oklahoma played against each other in Joplin?
That wouldn't surprise me. That's about a halfway point.
And on October 28th, 1910, they played in Joplin in their second ever meeting between the two schools.
They were playing in some weird places back in the day, man.
Also, there's been 5 tie games between these two schools.
That's what I mentioned in the breakdown, bud.
Yeah. Other than Norman and Columbia, the only other places that have been played outside of those two are Joplin in 1910, San Antonio in 2007, and Kansas City in 2008.
And the San Antonio and Kansas City were Big 12 championship games.
Yes.
So. Ain't no love in Oklahoma, and I sure as hell don't love the Sooners. Give me the Tigers to win this one. I think that this is going to be one that Oklahoma is going to have the wheels fall off the schooner even more than we thought originally, as I would not be surprised if this ends up being a rout in favor of the Tigers for no other reason than they're just going to pound the ball all game long.
Probably.
So, I mean,
well,
it's...
Is Nate Noel healthy?
I thought I saw he was probable. So, there's that. Even then, I think Jamal Roberts would gash this Oklahoma front 7 anyway. I don't see any way that Mizzou's getting completely outclassed because there isn't really in any aspect that Mizzou's getting completely outclassed versus Oklahoma. That's how it is so far this year. Oklahoma, for whatever reason, has lost their touch. I think part of that's Breton Venables himself. Let alone just look at how he's done in some big-time games and how he's done on the road. The only road one he has this year is Auburn. You can't even defend your home turf. You get blown out by South Carolina. Your fans are filing out at halftime against Texas. I think Oklahoma's having a wake-up call this year, and I think they're going to be 5-5. Tigers going to be 7-2. And this is going to be a nice statement win for the Tigers, because right now, unfortunately, the best win Mizzou has right now is Vanderbilt.
Yeah. As the SEC continuously eats itself.
I'm going Tigers 35, Sooners 14. I don't think Oklahoma's... Obviously, Oklahoma relies more on that run. What have we seen Mizzou been able to stop so far this year? For once. They're able to stop that run game, and, I mean... We know that the Death Row defense can get sacks. They've shown that in abundance. Look what they did against Alabama and was able to hold them down for as long as they did. It literally just took Drew Pine throwing interceptions for that game to get ugly. I think Mizzou's about to beat... Honestly, I think Mizzou might end up beating the hell out of Oklahoma. They're coming off a bye week. They had to stew on that loss to Alabama. Oklahoma's coming off we blew a team out. Yeah, it's Maine, you blew them out, but at the same time, you're still having to face a real, actual opponent. Congratulations. Welcome back to Columbia, boys. You haven't been here in over 24 or in almost 14 years. You're about to get your ass whooped. So, anyway, mailbag.
Comment. I asked it for the homecoming episode that I think I'd recorded by myself. But it was a bye week last week, and just with me being busy, we weren't able to record last week.
Mm-hmm.
But in the homecoming one, I had posed the question for a Mizzou homecoming game, who would you want, if you could choose, who would you have Mizzou face in a homecoming game as a non-conference opponent?
Kansas.
And then a SEC opponent.
Oklahoma.
And then
It's my two answers.
Noah had said that he would like to see Iowa State or Tennessee.
It's got to be a rivalry game. Rivalry games make excellent homecoming games.
Yeah.
So, Kansas or Nebraska?
I feel
Kansas or Nebraska?
Like Iowa State isn't a terrible.
It's not a terrible
option.
pick. But, I mean, Kansas is right there as an option. So, I'm going to obviously take Kansas all the time. Kansas or Kansas or Nebraska, and then...
Wait, game scheduled for next year?
Oh, they already announced when Mizzou plays KU, so calm down. They play each other
on September 6th.
September 6th.
That's week 2.
Nah, think of all the teams that we had on the road this year. We played on the road this year. That's who we get on at home. So, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Alabama, and Texas A&M.
Watch us play UMass for homecoming.
I mean, that is an option. It's in, October? So...
Yeah, October 18th.
I could see that. I ain't gonna lie.
It's either there's that, and then they play the Raging Cajuns on October 4th.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be that early.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be UMass or maybe Mississippi State.
They haven't announced any of the SEC games yet, so
yeah.
We will find out when that comes. But let's put a nice little question out there this week for all the folks, because it's getting that time. What bowl game? Because I'm calling it right now. I called it at the beginning of the year. Mizzou was not going to the college football playoff. What bowl game do you want to see the Tigers in, Ben?
The Pop-Tart Bowl, please.
In Charlotte?
The Pop-Tart Bowl would just be so much fun.
So we can eat a Pop-Tart? A giant Pop-Tart?
Yes.
Yeah, alright. 6-2 right now. We're not losing more than another game this year. So that's 9-3? I think Mizzou's going to get to 10 wins this year, I'm going to be honest, with the bowl win. So, you know what? Here, we're going to keep with the anniversary stuff. They're going to the Citrus Bowl. Calling it now. They went to the Cotton Bowl last year for the 10-year anniversary of going to the Cotton Bowl. They're going to go on the 10-year anniversary. They're going to go to the Citrus Bowl. And they will play Indiana.
No, Indiana's going to the Natty, bro. They just got to beat Ohio State, which I feel like they can do it. If anybody can, it'll be them.
I don't think that's the only win they have to get. I'm going to be honest there, Ben. They got to play Michigan this week.
Oh, yeah. Michigan's getting blown out.
Wow, that's some strong words there, boy.
Michigan is a shell of its former cheater self.
They also have to... Oh, nope, that's it. They got Michigan, a bye week at Ohio State, and Purdue. God, they're atop the Big Ten.
Purdue is garbage.
Yeah, Purdue's poopy. They're 7-1. Poor Boilermakers.
It'll be pure cinema on November 23rd.
All right, fine. They're playing Penn State then. Mizzou versus Penn State in the Citrus Bowl.
Interesting.
I don't know. Because I don't know who in the ACC would be an option.
Who does the Citrus Bowl feed to? Is it SEC versus somebody else?
I thought it was SEC Big Ten.
Big Ten?
I thought, but hang on.
I don't know.
Oop, can't spell. Citrus Bowl. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, but there's also the Cheez-It Bowl. Not confusing whatsoever. Yes. Yes, Big Ten SEC, so it's got to be a Big Ten opponent.
Okay.
Ohio State again.
That'd be crazy.
Both teams with 2 losses playing each other in the Citrus Bowl.
And it's funny because they would have their wide receiver would actually play this time.
Yeah. Hey, we'd have to link up with Buckeye Battlecry again.
That'd be something.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't talk to him and try to meet up with him when you went to Columbus.
Oh. Well, as you know, he doesn't live there.
Yeah, he lives in Ann Arbor, I know, but still.
Yeah. But I have talked to him back and forth a little bit, though. Just not like through this account or anything, but
yeah.
I have talked to him, and I let him know that once I actually have the time here, hopefully next week, I can get stuff uploaded, because like this is the first time I've been on my computer since like the homecoming week for Mizzou. So
yeah,
it's been a minute.
I mean, fair enough, but yeah, Citrus Bowl ties into Big Ten SEC. So here are the current options for the Big Ten. I'm gonna go ahead and say Oregon's not gonna be an opponent.
Yeah, no.
Iowa, they're 6-3. Minnesota, they're
Iowa.
Minnesota, they're 6-3. Illinois.
Well, Illinois would be real nice.
That would be amazing. Who does Penn State play down the stretch? Penn State's gonna win out. They'll go to the college football playoff. Oregon's going to win out, go to the college football playoff. Ohio State has Indiana, so that'll be an eliminator game. I mean, beyond that, like, that's pretty much the 3 right there. Iowa, Minnesota, and Illinois. And you want to talk about teams that have fallen off. Look at Rutgers right now. They're 4-4. They were 4-0 to start the year. Man, that's just sad. Anyway, Ben, anything you want to add before we wrap things up?
I got nothing.
Alrighty. I actually have a comment on the most recent vlog that me and Tommy did. Yeah, that's right. We're doing vlogs over on the main B-Card channel. It's from Noah. He said, hey, have you guys ever been in St. Louis Zoo? It's nice, plus admission is free. Well, Noah, just so happens that as of recording this right now, when this gets uploaded, me and Tommy will be in St. Louis doing the St. Louis vlog for their zoo.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that from you guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, Tommy, well, I mean, you know, hey, Tommy's turned a new leaf. The election happened and everything. Sports gambling's legal in the state of Missouri, so everything's good now. Nothing else happened. We all get to gamble on Mizzou football now in our own state. We don't have to go to Kansas or Illinois to do it. Finally! Ain't that right, Ben?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. I kind of like going to Kansas to bet on Mizzou football. It was fun.
I don't gamble anyways. So
well, you know what I mean.
Good.
Know what I mean. Anyway, where can you be found on Twitter?
I can be found at EliteTigerSports. The E, the T, and the S are capitalized.
I can be found on Twitter at BrockGordon99. The B and the G are capitalized on that one. You can follow B Card Entertainment on Twitter, even though it's kind of a dormant Twitter account right now because there's not a lot to tweet out about. It gets fired back up about Omaha time. And, yeah, by the way, a little update. I am 7 weeks out from my son being here.
Nice.
That's all you got? Just nice?
Congratulations.
So, and the day that he's supposed to be here is supposed to be a day that me and you record EOS. I mean, you will have to talk about it off air, how we're going to approach that span when he's first brought home, and how we're going to do that. So, anyway, I've been Brock Gordon.
I've been Benjamin Duncan.
Have a wonderful rest of your week, folks. And, as always... Z-O-U. Go Tigers. Beat Oklahoma. Oh, yeah, I already gave my official score prediction. Mizzou wins.